Hey folks, Corey Knapp here, your Big Bald Azure Guy. I am back. It's been quite a while. We got a lot going on, a lot to cover tonight. So to bring kind of a blast from the past back, take a look at this. That's right, folks. I'm back. It's been a good, what do I want to say? Probably a year and a half since I've done this regularly. I'm a little older, a little wiser. It's been a rough haul, guys. I've got some new digs, as you can see behind me. Been through a lot. A lot of you folks know I went through cancer a while back. Everything's going well. Switching jobs, new house, stuff. I mean, personal stuff, professional stuff. It's been crazy. Um, but what I've always maintained over the course of my profession, the course of my career, is that I want to give back. So what I did was I scrapped the old community, and I'm starting from scratch. This is now the Big Bald Azure Guy training platform. Um, we're going to do things a little different. So, first question: who is the Big Bald Azure Guy? Well, I am Corey Knapp. I am 45. I live in Central North Carolina, originally from the Jersey Shore. Been doing IT, since I was probably 18 years old. I'm doing cloud Azure since the beginning. I am currently an Azure architect, Microsoft certified trainer. I previously, in another life, I was a trainer for some of the big training platforms out there, like formerly Linux Academy and other people out there, Cloud Skills with Mike Pfeiffer, and it was a lot of fun. The one thing that I did not do back in the day was host a lot of live trainings, things like that. So, what the Big Bald Azure Guy is going to be about is giving back to y'all. I interviewed, questioned probably over 350 people to see what the biggest complaint was, what the biggest struggle was when people are learning. Um, and amazingly, 65% of the people came back and just said cost. We all know to purchase good training materials costs money. The exams cost money. Um, so here's what I'm telling you. You saw it in the thumbnail, free. 100%. All of my training on here will be free from now on. There is no hidden portal. There is no pay as you go. I mean, I will be offering mentoring on the side, things like that, that we can do pay if you want. But right now, we're going to be doing 100% training on here all the time. And it's not just Azure. We're going to be doing cloud fundamentals. We're going to be doing personal branding. We're going to be doing all kinds of fun stuff. So what I sat back with my family, with my colleagues the past few months and said, how do I want to do things? And I've been working on stuff behind the scenes for quite some time. And I wanted to come up with something different. Now, there's a few people out there that do similar stuff, but it's not always free. I mean, or it is. And I mean, but there's a catch, or there's not everything. I am not just going to teach certifications. I'm going to teach how to excel at a cloud job, how to excel at a cloud role, whether that's a cloud engineer, whether that's DevSecOps, whether that's DevOps, cloud developer. Artificial intelligence and machine learning is big, folks. We got to get involved in that one. So we're going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff. So what I've got coming up here over the next few weeks, starting next week on March 9th, I am going to be having a it's personal branding for cloud professionals workshop. We're going to go over everything from what is personal branding? How do you set up your LinkedIn page correctly? What do you do to set up a GitHub site? How are you having your online presence known to other people? What else can you do out there? How do you network properly? Why do you want a personal brand? What is in it for you in the short term and the long term? And also the following weekend on March 16th, Saturday night, every 8 o'clock for 6 weeks, I'm going to be starting an AZ900 Azure Fundamentals Bootcamp. It's open for everybody. There's no requirements. Please sit in live, ask Q&A, watch the replays on your own time. We're going to go over all of the domain requirements for the exam the first 5 weeks. The 6th week will be an exam prep. We'll do some testing, some questions, some scenarios, things like that. And then after that, it's wide open. And I already have materials prepped and ready to go for my first 5 trainings. I've asked everybody in the community to vote on a poll. Do you want to do AI 900 fundamentals next? DP 900 data fundamentals next? AZ 104 Azure Administrator, the associate exam? Do we want to start with cloud fundamentals, Linux? What is DevOps? What is version control, scripting, basic programming, security? You name it. There is a ton that we can do. Um, so, along with that, that kind of brings up what's the future of Big Bald Azure Guy going to be? As I said, there will never be a price gouge on you. There is never going to be any kind of ask for money for these courses. They are available to everybody. A little bit about myself. Hey, I've done well the past couple of years, but I not too long ago was struggling. I mean, I remember my wife and I pawning things to buy diapers for kids, and my kids are now 15 and 18. Doing YouTube full time. One of them is going into college. Sorry, not going into college. I mean, so it's crazy. I mean, my kids are grown, and I talked about it in one of my previous videos before I scrapped the Big Bald Azure Guy and started from scratch here. I wanted to leave a legacy, and the legacy I want to have is that cloud security, anything we decide to dive into, should be achievable by anybody. I understand you have to pay for your exams. There's ways to get discounts. There's ways to get free vouchers. But I want to make sure that people are aware of what is out there for free already on YouTube, already on other sites for training. So, what I've done, let me actually present this out here real quick, and I will show you what I've created. This actually took a few months to get everything the way I want it. This is my cloud basics learning pathway on things that you should know. Now, obviously, it might be a little bit small for you to see, but we're going to start off with Azure Cloud Fundamentals. That's where you start off with. And keep in mind, this does apply to AWS and GCP as well if you want to go that route. But I am the Azure guy. I do AWS. I have dabbled in GCP. But just to let you know what this learning pathway has, and this is available to everybody. My GitHub site will be launched officially tomorrow. I will provide the link in the comments and also on LinkedIn, so you can go download this. This starts you off with Cloud Fundamentals, which is your first certification exam. Then you go into Linux Essentials, networking, Bash scripting, programming essentials. I'm not saying you need to be a developer, but you should understand basics of coding. Look at Python, be able to tell what's wrong with it, things like that. We're going to look at doing version control, DevOps fundamentals, database fundamentals, security essentials, and also basics of containers. In the chat here, I see my friend Holden. Hey, buddy, how you doing? It's been a long time. I am back, my friend. I'm glad to see you're here. But what I did on this chart, not this chart, this is actually a presentation I've done through PowerPoint. Let me get a drink here real quick. And I have actually mapped out how to skill up in Azure Cloud Fundamentals. And I have laid out premium courses that are behind a paywall, which are the big ones: A Cloud Guru, Udemy, Cloud Academy. There are other ones on here like Pluralsight, Code Cloud. I have free courses on here. John Saville, I'm sorry, is a rock star. I love the guy. Now, obviously, once my course is published, I'm going to put it up here as well, but I'm not going to shy away from saying, hey, you know what? John's is just as good or better. Look at his. There should not be one sole source of truth you go after to study. You should be learning from multiple sources: reading, videos, hands-on practice, you name it. And I also have the official Microsoft online courses here that are part of the learning pathway in Microsoft Learn. And I say here, okay, take one of the above courses, take additional if needed. I would estimate 2 to 3 weeks if you really put some serious time into it. This is not a hard exam. It is completely non-technical. If you have zero experience with IT, maybe it's a little tougher. But for those of us who know what a computer is, some basic help desk stuff, this shouldn't be too hard. And I even include the link down here. And everything in here, by the way, is link accessible. So the 1800 registration is on here. We go to the next one. You've got Linux Essentials. I go over certain A Cloud Guru and Udemy courses. Sean Powers at YouTube. The official LPI learning material, which is free. We'll go through this over the course of my next few videos, but I've got things in here from Adrian Cantrell for networking, I've got bash scripting from Network Chuck. And like I said, there's always the premium option if you want to go that route. But like me, I mean, some of you have been in tough situations. You can't afford to go out and pay for training all the time. I apologize if you hear my little sausage dog in the background, but she's whining and wants to come in here, but not right now. I'm covered DevOps fundamentals. We're going to cover database fundamentals, security essentials. Professor Messer's a huge one, guys. I will also recommend other YouTube channels that I highly recommend. People out there like the Bearded IT Dad, KevTech, Bad Panda, uh, Zach Hill. You guys know who you are. You've been supportive of me over the years, and I'm going to give back. And honestly, collaboration is the way of the future. We should all be pushing out how to do this. There is right now such a lack of people in good skilled jobs for cloud security, you name it. I think I saw something that was 5 million available security jobs in the US and like 3 million people to fill them is all it is. And half of them aren't qualified. We need to get people up there skilled quickly who can do the job. And I'm not just going to teach the certification. I'm going to teach how you are to succeed in that role. The hard skills you need, the tech skills you need, and the soft skills you need too. Containers is a big one, folks. Kubernetes, Docker, Code Cloud is here. Network Chuck is here. I have to get my friend Chad up here from Cube Skills. He's got a great book out there. We're going to talk about some books that are out there that are very enjoyable to read. Things like the DevOps Handbook, things like the Phoenix Project, new books out there like, let me bring it up here. Learning Microsoft Azure by Jonah Anderson. Kind enough to give me a copy of the book. Love it. Great stuff. So that's one of the things we're going to go through. If I take that away, let's zoom in here now, and we're going to take a look at, I have laid out for the Azure side, if you want to be an Azure Cloud Architect, specifically focusing on networking and infrastructure, things like that, I have laid out an estimated timeline of how long it would take you to get, if you study ridiculously hard. AZ 104, I tell people, most people 2 to 3 months. But if you want to pass it in about a month, you could. Then you've got your Azure Architect. You've got your Identity and Access Administrator SC300 exam. You've got your AZ 800 and AZ 801 Server Hybrid Administrator. You've got your Azure Networking Engineer. And I always recommend HashiCorp Terraform. There's different things out there. This is a work in progress. I've got probably about 10 slides ready to go. But we've also got a DevOps roadmap, which includes Terraform, your DevOps Engineer exam. Security is a huge one, people. Security fundamentals, Azure Administrator, Architect, all 3 security series. At the end, you see the Cybersecurity Architect SC100. That's the Jedi of Azure security, folks. There's a lot out there we can do. And my plan, let me bring up my large head here again, is to have this available for everybody. I want to have boot camps for each of these tests. I want to have pre-recorded stuff for learning Linux. I want to have pre-recorded stuff for learning fundamentals of containers, you name it. But I also want to leave the community up to you guys. We're going to go in the path that you think is best. I'm going to ask a lot of questions on live streams. I'm going to ask a lot of questions in the community. I'm going to ask for votes and polls and things like that. I want to get an idea of what y'all want to do. There's a lot of stuff to cover, people. And unlike the last time where we tried, I had a false restart, had some health issues. I'm locked in, people. I have the next 4 months of material either recorded, set up to record, or ready to go live. Thank you, Holden. There is a Discord server going up this weekend. I will actually present out a link for it in a comment on this video when it does come out. So we'll have that very shortly. We're going to have a top mate spot. You all can hire me on as a mentor, do one-on-ones, 30 or 60-minute sessions. We're going to do resume reviews. A lot of stuff that we can really focus on. Plus, there's always sports, people. I mean, I love my New York teams. My Giants, my jersey's not on right now, but Giants had a bad year. NFL Combine's on today. We can talk about that if y'all want. My New York Knicks are looking pretty good. Not recently. Mets, we'll see what happens. And I just like talking sports too. I like talking movies. I'm recently saw Dune. I'm going to see Dune 2 very soon. We can talk about stuff like that. But I want this to be a give and take between the community we're going to create here. We're going to do a lot of collaborations. Some of those people are already in the chat giving their support. Love them for it. Bearded IT Dad, you know who you are. Dakota Buddy, I love you. Dan, Holden, great people. We start doing collaborations. I've got a few other collaborations lined up with some CEOs and CTOs of other companies, not to mention other content creators. It's going to be a fun ride. Didn't want to take up too much of your time tonight. Just kind of wanted to reintroduce myself. I am back. We'll have a few more things up on the walls. I just moved in about a month ago, so not everything is up the way I want it, but we're getting there. Um, and I'll give you some shots. I mean, productivity tips. I mean, I prefer a minimalist desk setup. I'll give you some tips on how to do that. Some products I like. We're going to be all over the place, it seems at first, but there is a rhyme and reason. We're going to learn how to study again. We're going to learn what the best methods of study are. What kind of studier are you? What kind of learner are you? Are you a practical learner? Are you an audio visual learner? How does what works out for you? We're talking about things like the Feynman technique. Talk about Pomodoro timers. Um, we've covered all this in passing in previous videos when this channel existed previously. But it's a time to kind of set the level set, do things right. And like I said, there is a solid plan in place. So to recap, it is March 1st, 2024. I can guarantee you this weekend, starting tomorrow, you will see the GitHub page out there. You will have the downloads available for all of the Azure Cloud role roadmaps. You will see the Cloud Basics Learning Pathway that's out there with suggestions for who to go watch for training, along with myself. Hint, hint. I will learn to talk into the camera. Walter, looking forward to jumping in and seeing what's to come. Same here, my friend. Appreciate it. Appreciate your time coming in here. The only thing I ask for people who take my training, who download the GitHub documents, who take part in the labs we're going to set up, there's only one thing I ask. Pass it forward. Share it with other people. I love constructive criticism. If you think something doesn't work the way it is, DM me, reach out to me on LinkedIn, put a comment in the video. Maybe I'll have to re-record the whole thing. You know what? That's fine. I want to make sure that what I produce is on par with what needs to be there to pass the exam the first time. And my man, TL, gotta love to love to the Rangers. Man, Rangers are looking good. My Rangers are great. Chesterton's come back with a 7-0 in the past 7 games. I can tire people out about talking sports here. We should have a sports stream at least once a month just to start talking about this stuff. But that'd be one thing to do too. But like I said, my friend Dan Ray, hey Corey, welcome back, my friend Dan. Thank you for dropping by, my friend. I jokingly called Dan the other day the Big Bald M365 guy. He is my brother from another mother. Kind enough to recommend me for MVP last year. I need to hit him up and get that one for next year. Now that I've actually been back on the horse and doing things regularly. So either way, I lost my train of thought there real quick. But yeah, we got a lot going on. You will see a lot of communication from me. Also, take a look at my Mastering Azure, the Cloud Chronicles newsletter on LinkedIn. Subscribe to that one. The BigBaldAzureGuy.com website will be up here in the next 48 hours. We're going to have replays and also different labs posted up there for different things to talk about. I'd love to do virtual meetups. I'd love to do an in-person meetup eventually. That would be great. Like I said, if you're in the Carolinas area, on the Mid-Atlantic area, I'm also occasionally up in Jersey, where I'm from. You never know. Maybe we'll do something. But like I said, to kind of rehash, not everybody has the money to shell out $30, $50 a month for training platforms. Not everybody has the money to shell out $10,000 for a boot camp. And I am not disparaging on them. That's their way to make money. That is their way to earn a living. And a lot of them produce really great content. I am not disparaging them at all. I have a lot of friends who run boot camps who charge a good penny. And you know what? God bless them. I wish them nothing but the best. Not the way I like to do things. I believe that all of this should be available for all of you for free. And maybe that means we find ways to do, if you find different tips to get discounts on training materials, or you find different ways to get discounts, like for vouchers for Microsoft exams, AWS exams. I'm going to try my best to get some vouchers for training and exams for Microsoft and other cloud platforms out there for you guys as well. Next time I'll look at the camera directly, but I like to hunch over. I'm at my desk all day. So what am I going to do? But like I was saying, it is 8:20 in the evening on March 1st, 2024. It is going to be a very busy month. Expect a minimum of 5 live streams this month. Expect a minimum of 15 to 20 videos. Discord server will be up in 48 hours. Website will be up in 48 hours. Topmate will be up in 48 hours. Um, Please reach out. Let me know if you need anything. As always, people, it has been a pleasure talking to you again. I really missed this. In case you couldn't tell, I'm very excited. Um, Last but not least, I want to thank my family, my wife, my kids. Michelle wouldn't be where I am without you. I told her I'm 45. I probably would have been dead 10 years ago. If it wasn't for her. So she is her and my kids are the sole reason for my existence. And this is now another one. I want to give back and do something meaningful for everybody here. So once again, have a great night. And as always, keep on learning.